thinking a lot about, or attempting to think through, the nature of quantum physics for a number of years, and I have been puzzled by a number of things that have been said by physicists about it. One of the most enigmatic quotations that I ever heard about physics was by Paul Dirac, when he said the photon only ever interferes with itself, in relation, of course, to the double slit experiment, which is a famous experiment in physics where light displays its wave and particle duality. But one of the more intriguing things about physics, it seems to me, is although when we look through electron microscopes and we look at the location, or we attempt to decide where a particular particle is, what its momentum is, and where its position is, which Heisenberg said we can't know both simultaneously. And Niels Bohr, the physicist who gave us a model of the quantum nature of electron orbits in 1913, came up with a method called complementarity, whereby we might know a little bit about the momentum, and then we might take another picture of, as it were, of the atom, and then we know something about the position. Then we take another picture and we know a little bit about the momentum, and then complementarily we take another position of the position, and so that our understanding of the quantum field is built up out of such complementarity views into a more complete understanding, with necessarily some uncertainty according to Heisenberg's principle. But the question still remains whether or not the nature of the human mind, or the processing speed of the human mind, if you will, philosophers like Bergson of France have suggested that the human mind is like a projector, or is like a movie projector, and it takes pictures of what it sees around it, and in so doing kind of builds up a picture of the nature of reality around it. But that means that the human mind itself has a range of, or depth of vision, or shallowness of vision, depending on how fast it's going. I've noted, for example, under a number of conditions, for example, if I drink coffee, or I drink tea, or I inhale a puff of smoke, my mind is perceiving the world differently, or it's presenting a picture of the world that's very different to me under various conditions. So it could be that if Bergson was right, and our mind is, as it were, taking pictures of things around us, that it is one of the instruments in nature that is perceiving, say, the wave-particle duality of light when we look through an electron microscope, or we look through a telescope and we're looking at the Crab Nebula, for instance. But it could be that beings that exist on the Crab Nebula have a higher and more evolved mind than our own, so that they can see things they can see things somehow transcending the wave and particle nature of reality, whereas we have to build up a picture of it on the basis of either it being a wave or a particle under various conditions. It's only a hypothesis. I'm not asserting the existence of these beings. I'm asserting the possibility of the existence of these beings, or questioning what would more evolved beings than we experience. A friend of mine related to me that when he had taken LSD, and he was in a home where someone had a curtain of beads, and someone passed through the curtain of beads, and although the beads had stopped, his mind was perceiving them as in continuous motion, so that even after the person who had not been taking LSD had seen the curtain stop, his mind was still seeing the curtain's beads as being in motion. So it could be that the beads were always in motion before the person even passed through them, and that they remain in motion, as Newton's first law implies, that if something is undisturbed any forces, it remains in the path that it is in unless forces act upon it, unless some force comes from the outside and hits it from the side, or hits it head on, or hits it from the rear. It continues in its motion infinitely, potentially, according to Newton's reasoning. So it was very interesting for my friend to raise this issue as to the fact that his mind was seeing the continual motion of the beads, and it caused me to think if the particles were